Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. I do thank you for tuning in, and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this afternoon. Now we are going to get right back into For Men Only. We are in chapter number 7, The Girl in the Mirror. This is take number 3, and it goes like this. What if I do agree there's an area to work on? Most men have probably known the deer in the headlights feeling when a woman is dissatisfied with her weight and wants to talk about it, and you really don't. There really is no way to talk about it without hurting her feelings, unless she specifically asks you and giving you permission to be honest for some compelling reason. Like, promise me that you tell me if I shouldn't wear that dress so I don't embarrass myself at the reunion. If she's struggling with something that is a real issue, like she's 25 pounds overweight, instead of just being dissatisfied with something she can't helpfully change, she thinks her nose is too big. Realize that she feels terrible about it already. Knowing you are disappointed too makes it worse. That said, if she makes comments about wanting to lose weight, and you think she's seriously contemplating making a change and inviting your thoughts, be supportive and ask, how can I help you? Good sentence starters. I love you no matter what. But if this bothers you, how can I help? Then be willing to help. Whether that means during the soccer run so she can hit the gym, or foregoing your nightly ice cream if it tempts her too much. Encourage the results of her efforts, and always affirm those areas that you do find beautiful, including her loveliness as a person. Always affirm those areas that you do find beautiful, including her loveliness as a person. Also remember that for her, knowing that you find her lovely, not just on the outside, but the inside as well, will go a long way. We've all seen examples where an otherwise plain-looking woman became absolutely beautiful in our eyes because she had the beauty of a quiet and gentle spirit. As the Apostle Peter put it, if your wife is a lovely person, but knows that her teeth are crooked, or her post-childbearing stomach is no longer flat, tell her often that you truly don't notice what she think of as flaws. Tell her that her inner loveliness radiates through her, and that you and everyone else find her beautiful. View cost as an investment. A lot of husbands struggle with their wives' desire to spend money on clothes, makeup, or beauty treatments. I hope by now you're seeing what's really happening here. She's trying to stay in the center of your field of vision and to bolster her own internal gauge of how she feels about herself. No one is saying households should throw budget caution out the window. But what might appear a non-essential to us men might be a budget priority for her that she is willing to make trade-offs for. Here's a note Chpt received on this topic. Please explain to guys how important clothes are to women. Please try to explain how frumpy and unattractive we feel in old clothes. Whether they are worn out or just out of date. A couple of my best friends struggle with this in their marriages. It's a common problem. Interestingly, according to Chpt's research for women only, most men are willing to spend time or money to support a wife's weight loss or fitness program. For example, by watching the kids or paying for a gym membership. We do make the beauty connection at one level, where it matters to us. We need to make that connection where it matters to her. Now it's time to squarely address what may be the most important beauty connection of all, because you and I do an excellent job of reflecting our wife's beauty back to her and still cause enormous damage. How? Fact number 5. In my hand, I hold a hammer. The hammer drops, looking elsewhere. We now know that women are powerfully affirmed by knowing that their husbands find them beautiful. But that power has a dark side. Because if a woman sees her husband's eyes also affirming the beauty of other women, she ceases to feel special. And suddenly, not only is she not affirmed, she's in competition with the world again, including for the attention of the one man she thought she already had. That's when the hammer hits the mirror of you, the most important mirror in her life, and shatters it. If a woman sees her husband's eyes also affirming the beauty of other women, she ceases to feel special. Now, because women are not as visually wired as we are, there are bound to be some misunderstandings here. Some conflicts between what we consider innocent and what our women think. We may think, my wife knows it's just a guy thing, and that I don't love this other woman I'm looking at. We've even coined some analogies that elevate starting to a noble level. It's like enjoying a beautiful painting in a museum. We say, just don't try and take the picture home. Yes, sometimes it can simply be admiring beauty. And yes, God has created a beautiful world, and populating it with attractive people is consistent with His artistry. But the challenge with looking at a beautiful woman is the speed at which admiration morphs into something else. Looking at the sweeping vista of the Rockies just doesn't run the risk of my next thought being, I wonder what those mountains would look like without all that snow on them. I'm not going to spend the rest of this chapter talking about how we need to keep our thought lives pure, since I think most of us already know that, whether consciously or subconsciously. Still, I strongly urge you, don't settle for what you have considered unavoidable or even normal on this temptation. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. I believe that through God's power, not our own, we can be transformed. And if you need outside resources, there are many great ones today, including Every Man's Battle by Stephen Arterburn and Fred Stoichter, and Sex is Not the Problem, in parentheses, Lust Is, in parentheses, by Joshua Harris. My main purpose is to help motivate sensitive and slightly clueless men, slightly clueless guys like you and me become more motivated, more sensitive, and slightly less clueless husbands by explaining what is going on inside our wives. The hard truth is, most women don't just dismiss our sideways glances as a guy thing. Look at what one woman wrote us. I haven't been able to come to grips with my husband looking at other women. He is not into pornography, for which I am so thankful. But sometimes I see him looking for quite a bit longer than just a glance at other younger women. I cannot describe the hurt I feel when he allows his eyes to take in every detail. I think otherwise very wonderful men don't stop to think about how this makes a woman feel. That figure my husband is looking at clarifies for me his deepest physical desires. And I look nothing like that. This leaves me feeling like I can never be what my loved one really wants. And for this particular take, I am going to end it right here. And our next section is going to be, it's news to them. What type of news? Stay tuned for the next take of For Men Only. That is going to be take number 4 for that take. So I want you and your family to be blessed. Have a wonderful rest of this afternoon. I want you to be well. Take care. And until next time, later, y'all.